Is tenacity your friend?
Welcome to Kirsti Cast, the show where we hope to illuminate, entertain, and engage our listeners, helping them create the life they want. I'm your host, Kirsti Manna.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I'm Kirsti Manna. This is Kirsti Cast, and I hope that you're listening and liking and downloading the audio podcast and watching the video portion of this podcast on YouTube on my channel, Songwriter Girl 1. Well, I want to thank Bill Warner for being here behind the scenes, the mad scientist, running the lights and the sound and all that good stuff, because I have no ability to do that, so I'm glad that he's here. Did you get that ability? Anyway, today I wanted to talk to you for a few seconds about tenacity. Tenacity, that would be a really good name for a cat, tenacity. I have to remember that. If I ever get another cat, and I probably will at some point, you know how that goes. Anyway, tenacity, persistence, determination. Do you have tenacity? Do you set goals? I am a big goal setter. I know I'm always repeating myself with the setting goals thing, but I think it's really important to set goals, week, month, 6 months, year, life. I think that's a really good thing to do because it keeps us on track. It keeps us, staying with the program. And one way that you can be tenacious is, you can study other people. I heard a speaker one time say this: success leaves traces, and I think that's really great. I use that all the time. And I always look at other people and what they're doing and how they became successful, because they leave a path behind them. And usually tenacity is one of the things that you find with people who are successful at whatever they're doing. They're just persisting. They're staying with it. They're very determined. So study your competition. Just look around you and see what other people are doing. That can help you learn some ways that you can be more persistent and determined in what you're working on creatively. Don't be a follower. I hope that you're a leader. I hope at least you're a leader in your own life. I hope that you're finding things about yourself that are unique and special, and that you're putting that stuff out there, and that you're moving other people when you're working on your creativity and whatever art or whatever piece you're working on. Really go after it with persistence and with determination. Don't give up, and don't be a follower. Be your own person. Be unique and figure out what it is about you that is unique. Fear. This is something I always used to talk about in Songwriter Girl Camp. You have to find out what you're afraid of. I used to have my campers fill out on a little piece of paper one of their fears, and then we would throw it in this pretend virtual video fire and burn those things up, and they would go away forever. So I think it's really good to journal and write down what are some of the things you fear, because when you face them, then you know how to defeat them. And you have to be persistent at that too, because if you're fearful of something or you're feeling insecure about something in life, it'll just keep rearing its ugly head unless you really believe in what you're doing and you are very determined. And don't be afraid to fall, because all of the best of them, all the best of us fall. We stumble on things that we're afraid of. We stumble on what we think we don't know. That's why I think it's so important to set goals, be clear about yourself, be clear about what you want to do, and persist in your desire to achieve your creative goals. Hope those tips helped you a little bit today. Hope you're going to become more tenacious. Get out there and do your thing. Stick around. We're going to be right back with the Shero Spotlight.
Stay tuned for the Shero Spotlight.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Shero Spotlight. I'm so excited today to have the daughter of my guest that we had on the show last week. Today, we have the multi-talented Laura Wilbanks Cruz, and she is going to be here today talking about her interesting job. I won't reveal that yet. But let me just tell you a little bit about her. She is a 2011 graduate with honors from Middle Tennessee State University. MTSU is what we so fondly call it. And she was a graduate in mass communication. She works in film and television as a script supervisor. So she is a super organized person, I know. Most recently, she was on season 2 of the CBS All Access show Tell Me a Story and the upcoming feature film Son. And some of her other credits include the very wonderful 81 episodes of ABC CMT's show Nashville, which we all just were glued to every week. Of course, you know that, Laura. Yes. And also feature films including Lifetime's release Patsy and Loretta, and numerous commercials for just small little brands like Nissan, Coors Light, Band-Aid, and Hershey. And she did tell me that she will be sending me some Hershey kisses after this show. She lives in Smyrna, Tennessee with her husband, Tom Cruz, who's an English teacher. He's not the actor, she says. And that's very funny that she's married to Tom Cruise. I'm sure you get a lot of looks on that. And they have a rescue dog named Unit, who I have seen pictures of, and he is very cute.
He is the sweetest boy.
He's the sweetest dog. So let's welcome to the show, Laura Wilbanks Cruz. Thanks so much for being with us today, Laura.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. I'm glad you could do it. So I wanted to ask you, what inspired you to become a script supervisor?
I was destined is what I always joke about it. I went into college as an undeclared major. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And the very, 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 very first class that I walked into was a general education class that was a film and television class. It was called American Media and Social Institutions.
Wow.
And it was just like this really broad overview of television in general and how the industry works. And I fell in love. It was an upper level professor, Dr. Bob Pondillo, who decided that he would teach this lower level class just to get people interested. And I took the class and I was like, this is amazing. This is so cool. And I got involved in the student run television station at MTSU. It was called MTTV. Now it's called MT10. I got involved with student productions, student films. And I just wanted to do anything that I could to learn about the industry. And when I was little, I had a passion for movies and television that like I thought any kid would have. For my 10th birthday party, I did a make your own movie birthday party where I wrote and directed a small short film, cast my friends in it, and it was absolutely terrible, but we made it with my mom and dad's camcorder, and we were so proud of it. And then like just different things in my life have been like, oh yeah, you can look back and be like, that girl's going into film and television.
Oh, that is great. Well, don't you love it though when you have a teacher that just has such an impact on you, and you know you can never forget about them or forget about the things they said, because it's kind of like an aha moment, you know, that you have. It sounds like it was for you.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I spent that entire semester discovering that this passion that I had had all of my life was something that I could actually use in the job world and be able to make a career in it. And it was so cool as a freshman to have no idea what you were going to do. I was thinking maybe I would do theater because I did theater in high school, or I would do elementary education because I loved kids. And I enjoyed teaching. And then I found this, and it was just something that had always been there inside of me, but I got to like spark an interest that I knew I could make a career out of.
Well, and tell everybody, there'll be people listening and people watching this podcast, but what are the responsibilities of a script supervisor? What are some things that you're responsible for when you're on the set or preparing for, to film?
Yeah, it's actually kind of a more little known crew position. Everybody knows what a director does. Everybody knows what a producer does. But a script supervisor sits next to the monitor, next to the director, and the director photography. I maintain continuity through the shoot. I'm making sure that the actors are saying all the correct words. I'm making sure that they've got their props in the correct hands, that they're the props that they're supposed to be using. They're dressed in the correct outfits. They have their hair and makeup done the way they're supposed to. I'm basically the on-set checker for mistakes. If anybody makes a mistake, I've got to be on top of it, know what the mistake is, how to correct it, and how to effectively communicate to who I need to communicate what the mistake was, how we can fix it.
So if there's a mistake, if, you know, because I've seen this sometimes in movies where there's a continuity issue or, you know, you think, wait a minute, how could they be, but they didn't have that coat on in the last, because I watch a lot of movies too.
When did they put that coat on? How did they lose
Yeah, how'd they get that going? So then what do? Do you tap the director on the shoulder and say, excuse me, but in the last scene they were wearing a pink coat and now they're wearing a black coat. They stop, they cut. What do they do?
Right. Hopefully I catch it before it gets to that sort of huge problem. What happens with filming, we rehearse a scene, the actors go to get changed. Once they get all their looks done, their hair and makeup, wardrobe, they come back. We do maybe another rehearsal with cameras but not recording so that everybody knows what's going on. Then we do our first take. I want to see the problem, address the problem, fix the problem before those cameras start rolling.
Right.
Yeah.
That, I mean, I can see why you find this job so interesting and so exciting, because it just doesn't sound like it ever stops. And it just seems like you really have to be on your game and on your toes. And that's cool.
It is extremely detail oriented. And I said that my brain works in that way very strangely. I'll give another like childhood story. When I was like 3 years old, I went on an Easter egg hunt, and I loved the Easter egg hunt so much that when I got done finding all of my eggs, I was like, I want to do this again. So I took the eggs and I put them back in their hiding spots, in the exact same spots, in the exact same color coordination that they were, and rehunted them. And my mom was like, oh, that's interesting. That's something that like
how is this kid wired?
And so I use that sort of like, lightning fast snap memory, lightning fast organization mentally to be able to do my job in a way that I feel is very fun for me.
Oh, it sounds like a lot of fun, and it's a lot of responsibility, you know, like you're saying, to have all those ducks in a row before they start to roll.
Yeah. The worst thing to happen is to have a continuity error and have it on camera,
Yes.
to have it recorded, and then you have to go back, and then you have to tell the editor, hey, don't use these takes because so-and-so was wearing the wrong coat. Use these takes instead. And then you run the risk of, the editor, no, they didn't get that note and they really like the performance for this take. And then you have that continuity error forever.
Right. Forever
on camera.
Indelible, you know.
Oh gosh, it's the worst.
Oh gosh. So tell me some of the most inspiring directors that you've been sitting next to on set.
Mm-hmm. One of the best things about the amount of work that I do is that I get to work with a lot of different directors. I was on the show Nashville for 4 seasons, the final 4 seasons of the show, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And for each season, there would be about a 22 episode order. So there's 22 episodes in a season, and usually you change directors pretty much every episode. We had about 12 directors in season 3 that would rotate through. Some of them would do like 2 episodes, some might do 3. And so I would get to work with a lot of different people with a lot of different styles, a lot of different ways of directing. And it was really cool because Nashville show creator, Callie Curry, is a woman and enjoys working with other women. And so it would be great to have all of these female directors come through. And on maybe other shows, I wouldn't get to have that many female directors come through. Somebody in a place of power being able to come in and direct episodes. So I got to work with Callie as a director many times. Another wonderful female director that came in was Lily Marie. You might know her face from she was a character on the show ER for years.
Oh yeah. Yes, I know who that is.
Does directing, and Nashville was one of the first shows that she got to direct an episode for. She's since gone on to direct many more.
How exciting. So what's the purpose, Laura, of them having different directors in one season? Just because they want a different look to a certain episode, or how does that go?
Directing is a lot of work, like a lot of work. You are basically responsible as the director for the look, the pacing, the everything of the episode. And so that means you also have to prep the episode. Now, prep happens during the filming of another episode. So if we're filming episode 3, we're currently filming episode 3. Episode 4 is already in prep. So the director and all of the department heads are going out every day, going to different locations, doing tech scouts. Wardrobe is working on the next wardrobe for the next episode. The props are working on the next props. There's people doing construction for new sets. And the director has to be at all of those different places maintaining the look of the show. They've got to be making all of these different decisions. Well, they can't both be on prep and be shooting the episode, because that also takes, 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
You've got to have at least 2.
That makes total sense. So that's I'm learning a lot here today.
Right. You've got to have at least 2, but like it's even better if you have like multiples, because then you get lots of new fresh ideas, and directors come in and they're like freshly energized, because once you get to, episode 18 of a 22 episode order, everybody's pretty much dead, and you need that energy of a fresh director.
Sure. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I always like to ask my guests to tell a stay inspired story, just something that's happened to you in your life that's inspired you. It doesn't even have to be about your career. It could be in any place in your life.
Yeah. I think that I'd like to talk about like the current COVID situation, just being able to stay inspired at home.
Yes.
Right now, my industry has pretty much shut down for safety purposes. I mean, you can't be on a set and not be in close quarters. You're talking to a bunch of people. You are just right up next to so many people, and our industry just can't function safely during a pandemic, and so we have decided to shut down. So that means that all of us creative people are stuck at home and being able to explore our creativity in ways that we wouldn't get to on set. I've been doing a lot of crafting projects. I've learned how to cross stitch. I've learned how to do embroidery. My mom taught me how to sew during high school. So I've been sewing. I've been doing, I did a YouTube video parody of of the song Friday, but it's called Quarantine. So if you want to go look that up,
where can we see that?
Well, that's on YouTube. All you have to do is search Friday Quarantine parody, and you'll see me.
I will be doing that as soon as I'm done with this interview.
You really should. It stars me and my dog.
Oh, speaking of your dog.
Yes.
I know that I love cats and you love dogs. I don't not love dogs, but I'm a big cat lover, as you know. And I think your dog's name is a very interesting, Unit. Tell me about where the dog's name came from, Unit.
Yes. Okay. So Unit, we call him Uni. He's actually, his name is based on an internet joke. My husband actually came up with it when we decided to adopt. Uni is a very round dog. He's part Labrador Retriever, part Bulldog, and I joke that when we got him, he had a lab head on a Bulldog body. So gosh! And there's a joke on the internet that when a dog or an animal is like really, really round, you say, "Oh, that boy is an absolute unit. I'm in awe of that boy." And so Tom was like, "We gotta name him Unit. He's so round.
We've got it. This is the name. It's destiny."
So he was totally adamant. He was like, "It's gotta be. And I was like, "All right, he does look like a uni. He is so sweet. Would you like me to call him over?"
Yeah, let's see him.
All right. Hey, Uni. Uni, come here.
Of course, treats don't hurt.
I know. I definitely rattled a bag.
Oh, here he is.
Come to your mark. Here you go.
Oh, he
go
knows his mark too.
away. Yeah, Uni, Target.
Oh, hi, Uni.
Yes.
Boy, he is
Oh,
trained well, Laura.
yeah.
Now,
He's such a good
how would
boy.
you say you most effectively communicate with Uni?
Well, I'll leave the camera down here so that you guys can watch him. But what we wanted to do with Uni's training was to be as effective as possible, but also as gentle as possible.
Yeah.
There's something called positive dog training that we
Okay.
read about on the internet, and that is that you want your dog to want to make you happy. So to give your dog as many opportunities as possible to do the stuff that you want him to do. So
Okay.
things that we learned about was like on walks. If your dog is like aggressive to other dogs or wants to bark at other dogs, a lot of dog owners will be like, no, 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 no. And you'll see the dog owners, they're like pulling the leash. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, no, don't do that. Well, it's
And
a
the
lot
dog's trying to do its natural thing.
and the dog's trying to do its natural thing.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times it's easier for a dog to be told to do something positive than to stop doing something negative. So what we'll do if Uni wants to like, oh, there's another dog over there, or another dog's bullying Uni, which is more likely to happen. I'll tell Uni to do something. So Uni, watch me. I'll point to my face, and he's doing it on the floor right now. I'll say, watch me. And so that takes his attention to me rather than the other dog. And then as long as he keeps that contact with my face, then he's getting rewarded. Like I'll have a treat and I'll give him the reward. So him doing something positive, looking to me, is getting rewarded rather than him doing something negative, giving attention to the other dog and me going, no, 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 no.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is real. Some people need to do this with their children, I think.
I think so.
But your dog is like your child. I mean, you
Right.
know, I
oh my gosh, so much.
Well, he's adorable. Now,
yeah,
if
it's
you
to
need,
give him something to do positive rather than to be like that.
yeah, that makes complete sense. I think that's really good. So if Uni could describe you, what would you say?
Uni would say that I am the provider of soft things. Uni was
I love that.
a rescue dog. We got him from Critter Calvary Rescue out of Franklin, Tennessee. I saw him on a Facebook post of a friend's Facebook and was like, look at this dog. It's so round. And we were able to get him. But once we got him into the house and started learning about him, he gravitated towards beds and blankets and pillows, and Uni wants anything that is soft and cuddly. So we were like, that's what we're going to provide for you, buddy. That's what you need. So I joke that Uni likes cuddles, car rides, and soft things. Those are things that Uni.
That sounds like a commercial. That sounds like his tagline.
Yeah, but he's such a sweet boy, and we don't know very much about his past before we adopted him. I mean, we adopted him, he was probably about 5 or 6 years old. And we do know that he was found in rural Tennessee wandering around full of fleas and ticks, and he wasn't super healthy. He didn't have somebody taking care of him. So I think that now that he has a home where he lives in the lap of luxury, his most important things are cuddles and soft things.
Well, don't you think, because I believe this about animals, I think that somehow they know, they sense, they're grateful, they get it. They know when they've got it good and they're grateful. I really think that we've only talked mainly about cats before together, but we had a dog that he ran with the postman. He was a stray in the neighborhood and he would run with the postal truck, heard the truck. He was part border collie. And
he was trying to hurt it.
And we always said the postal truck was his dream car, And so I caught him. Yeah. And I caught him between my legs. He would come and he'd hang out in the driveway. And I mean, we never planned to have a dog. And so I caught him between my knees and he was like a bucking bronco. And I'm going, Bill, come out here, So Bill comes out and gets Bogey. That was his neighborhood name, and it stuck. And we brought him in the house. And that dog was so smart. He never peed in the house. He never destroyed anything. It was unbelievable. And it was like he just knew.
Yeah.
what he was supposed to do.
Oh,
And
yeah.
nobody knew what his past was either.
Yeah,
Same
yeah,
thing.
that's the thing. You get these dogs, you don't know anything about them or what they've been through, and then they just show you. I mean, they show you so much love.
I
And
know.
it's fantastic. When we were looking for someone to adopt, we didn't necessarily know that we were going to get Uni. The thing that we would talk to the rescue groups about was that we wanted somebody kind. That was the thing that we wanted in a dog. We wanted somebody just like really sweet, and kind and gentle. And when we got Uni, I mean, like that was it. He came for a house visit from the rescue. One of the person that was keeping him in like a foster care situation brought him to our house to see how he would react.
Sure.
To our house environment. And just from the moment he walked through the door, like he basically just like shoved his head into my stomach and was just like, hug me.
Oh, that's such a nice story.
Gosh, it
That's
was
so
super, like,
great.
immediately knew. And we had, we'd visited some other dogs, we'd talked to some other rescues, but like nobody had the immediate connection that we did when Uni came in and was just like, give me a hug.
And I also believe about animals, it's like people, some people are shy. Some people are outgoing. Some people are, they're more aggressive or gregarious or something. And it's the same thing, I think, with animals. They have different personalities. And I think it's good to have them come and see you see them in your environment and stuff, because I think that helps in adopting an animal.
One of the things, since Uni was an older dog and we were actually looking for an older dog, we decided, because I never had a dog in my entire life, Tom hadn't had a dog, and so we didn't think that we were ready for a puppy.
Oh yeah.
And to like completely train one from scratch. So we were like, let's get one that we already kind of can see what his personality is.
Yes.
That's why we went with an older dog, and we're so glad that we did, because we got the perfect dog for us.
Oh, that's so great. Well, thanks for telling us, and thanks for letting us all see him. He's so cute. So I always love to ask my guests this next question. What is your power word?
Yes. Okay. Well, actually, it is yes. It's basically, it's yes, please. I don't know if you know Amy Poehler's autobiography is entitled Yes, Please. Yeah. And it's her mantra, her power word. And that whenever she's offered an opportunity, she, doesn't think about it. She goes, yes, I'm going to do it. Yes, please. And
I love that.
I also want to do. I had actually read her autobiography like a month before I got offered the job for Nashville.
Wow.
And when I got the call, this was right before season 3 started. They decided to split ways with the script supervisor that had been on seasons 1 and 2. So they were looking for a new script supervisor. And I had gone on season 2 for like a day to do second unit work, which is like when they have like a little like splinter unit that does some other stuff while the main unit shoots. And I was just able to, strike a camaraderie with some of the higher ranking crew there on set. And so they decided to bring me on as the main script supervisor for the 3rd season. And I was on the phone and I was like, oh boy, this is a huge responsibility. And I don't know if I'm ready for this. And I don't know. But instead of saying all that, I just went, yeah, let's do it. I'd love to.
Good. Well, when I was a kid and I used to go to auditions at these big theaters, these summer stock playhouses and stuff that were around where I grew up, my mom would always say, now, when you go in for that audition, if they ask you, can you dance? You say yes, and you learn the steps later. So I was always real positive about what I was able to do, even if there was something that felt a little limiting. I wasn't afraid of that. So I'm glad that you, it sounds like a scene from a movie. Just as they're asking her the question, she looks down at the cover of the book and she goes, yes.
Yes. Amy Poehler said to say yes.
That's so great. Well, I have one more question for you. Or actually, this is just finishing a sentence. How would you finish this sentence? The number one thing I'm grateful for today is?
Today.
Oh.
I am through this whole pandemic experience, it's reminded me to just be really thankful for the right now.
Yes.
And I just want to remind myself how grateful I am I'm in a loving relationship with my husband. I've got an amazing puppy dog. Live in a great house that we bought together and that we've made a home together. And, I might be in quarantine for a little bit, but at least I've got a beautiful life to live while I am doing that. So I'm grateful and thankful for today.
Well, that is beautiful. And you're such an interesting young woman, and I want to wish you continued success in your career and in all the stuff that you're working on while you're waiting for production to take off again.
I know.
And thanks so much for being with us today. And everybody go check out Laura Wilbank's Cruz online and go check out her video on YouTube, her Quarantine Friday.
Why don't you just have a laugh?
And starring Uni.
Yes.
All right. Thanks so much, Laura. All right, everybody, stick around. We're going to be right back.
You're my Shero, more than a hero, and I look up to you every single day. Every day, my celebration, my inspiration is to be like you, but in my own way. You're my Shero, more than a hero.
Thanks to Laura Cruz, our Shero Spotlight guest today. And I don't know if you put this together, but last week on the show, Lynn Wilbanks was our Shero Spotlight guest, and she is Laura's mom. So I wanted to have the shows coincide, be back to back. I hope you enjoyed those interviews. And also thanks to my friend Roxanne Charette and co-writer on the You're My Shero theme. So thanks, Rox. So this song that I want to play for you today is something that I wrote with an artist named Amber Lawrence. And Amber's from Australia. And also Bill DeLuigi is one of the writers on this song. So Amber came in the room and she said that she wanted to write something like Carole King. Well, that really sparked my interest. I've actually never written a song with boots in the title. This is called Boots Baby. I got my boots on, I got my boots on, baby, big enough to fill 'em up now. I wanna move on the feeling, dance on the ceiling, walk away and break new ground. There you go with the twisted affection, dressing it up like love and attention. Knew it come down to compromise. Try this on for size. I got my boots on, I got my boots on, baby, big enough to fill 'em up now. I'm gonna move on this feeling, dance on the ceiling, walk away and break new ground. I got my boots on. That's a little bit of Boots Baby. You can go to Kirsti.com and check out some more of my music. We'll be right back.
What the tech? What the tech?
Well, I love this segment, What the Tech, because as I've always mentioned, I am technically challenged. I'm getting better, but I still have a little bit of problem with a few technical things in my life. So I wanted to use this segment to go out and make it my mission to find technical products that I thought were really interesting that maybe could help my life and then in turn help yours. Well, one thing that I got last year for Christmas and a birthday present was a Kindle, because it was one of my goals that I was going to read more in 2020, and I have been, and I love that little Kindle. It's so compact and fun. Well, guess what, people? Now there's a new one. Yes, as if we didn't think we had enough Kindles in our life, Now we have a new one, and it's called the Amazon Kindle Paperwhite. And this supposedly is the best Kindle yet. This thing is thinner and lighter, and here's a beautiful part. It's waterproof. I think it's gone through some kind of dunk test where, they dunk it in water and they take it out and it immediately works, within seconds of being removed from the water. So here's what's so cool about this. It is made to look like real paper, even in the brightest sunlight. So if you're one of these people that's a beach reader, or you want to read by the pool, or maybe you want to read in your bathtub and you have a really sunny bathroom, this is going to really be a good kind of item for you. So you can take it to the beach, you can take it to the pool, you can take it in the bathroom. It is a single battery charge that lasts for weeks. And I love this kind of information because if there's anything that drives me nuts, you're laying in bed, you're really getting into the chapter, and all of a sudden you get the message, only 5%'s left. You get to jump up out of bed, move the cat, go find the plug, the extension cord, plug it in. Now you're wide awake in this whole thing of reading the Kindle, just fall asleep a little bit. You get my drift. Anyway, it has twice the storage with 8 gigabyte. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like a lot. And so that sounds like a good selling point to me right there. It also comes in black, and get ready for this one, twilight blue. That sounds exciting. What is that? Twilight blue. See, they say these things because they know that women are going to find that interesting, or they're going to tell their husband or boyfriend, I want the twilight blue Kindle Paperwhite. See what I mean? Works every time. I'm already interested, and I just got a Kindle 3 months ago. Here's the other big thing. Sells for $129.99. Sounds like a deal to me. There's a lot of other perks. You can go to Amazon and check out the new Kindle Paperwhite and see if it's the Kindle for you.
Meow, not bow wow. Meow, not bow wow. Meow, not bow wow. Meow, not bow wow.
Well, it's the Meow Not Bow Wow segment, and I thought it would be kind of fun, this segment, to talk for a few minutes about the pros and cons of cats and dogs, since Laura was our guest and we got to meet her dog, Unit. And so she's a big dog advocate, and I said to her, we need to have you back on the show sometime and you can tell us about some of your dog training, because she really has gotten into dog training since she got her rescue dog, Unit, and they've been training him somewhat. So here's something that you might not know, because I always talk about being a cat person. Did you know that at one time we had a dog? Yes, we did. We had the most amazing dog. He was a dog that, get ready for this, ran with the postman. He was a stray in the neighborhood and nobody could catch him. He was part border collie, so he was a very fast runner. And somebody in the neighborhood started calling him Bogey. Well, he had a different name on every street because he loved the postman and he started following him around on our street. Well, then he decided that when the postman drove off in Bogey's dream truck, the mail truck, that Bogey would then chase the mail truck and run with it and herd it. He would herd the mail truck into the curb. Bogey was known for jumping over hedges and swimming in people's fish ponds. I know neighbors didn't probably like that very much. But on every street, he had a different name. He was a black and white border collie. So on one street, he was Blackie, and another street, he was Buddy, and he was Bogey, and he was Posty. Posty. That's unique. Anyway, so Bogey eventually became our dog because I caught him. He was like a bucking bronco when I caught him, but we did get him into the house, and he became one of the greatest friends of all times. He's passed away now, but we love Bogey and we think of him every day. Well, Bogey loved the cats. He was very gentle with them. He let them sit next to him. He was so smart because he knew that we were cat lovers, especially me, and that if he did anything wrong, he probably would be sitting on the back porch without the cats and without the people. So he knew it was a good idea to just go with it. But anyway, in case you didn't know, dogs are pack animals. So it always makes me feel really bad when I see a dog who's just by himself, longingly looking at the back door of his house in the backyard alone. So if you have a dog, try to walk him a lot because he's going to enjoy it. And guess what? It's going to help you too. So pack animals, remember that, people. If you are a dog person, dogs love to live in packs. And if you are just one person living with your dog, guess what? You're his pack. Cats, as you know, are very independent. You don't really see people walking cats very much because they just, first of all, they don't like to be on a leash. And second of all, cats are not into walking around outside. They like to walk around outside as long as you're not telling them where to go. Can you train a cat like you can train a dog? Well, actually, cats are very instinctive. Did you ever notice if you've gotten a cat as a pet, especially as a kitten, how they instantly know how to use a litter box? It's amazing. You don't even have to show them where it is. They find it and they use it. Dogs, they're not like that. They need to go outside, obviously. Bogey never had any accidents in the house, but I know there's a lot of you out there that have experienced your new puppy peeing on your favorite rug. Well, I hope those are some tips that helped you. Next week, it's going to be back to all cats, people. But if you have any cat stories and some dog stories, send them in, and we would love to share them with our listeners. Well, it's time for us to say goodbye. I can't believe the show is already over. We want to thank again Laura Cruz for being our special guest on the Shero Spotlight. And I hope that you're going to be listening, liking, and downloading Kirsti Cast wherever you get your podcast, and going to YouTube and watching the video portion of it on Songwriter Girl 1. That's my channel. Also, want to thank our sponsors, WarnerWorks. Check out warnerworks.net for your production needs when you come to town to record in Nashville or remotely. And also Outreach U and our newest sponsor, Music Pays My Rent. I would love to work with you sometime. If you need a mentor or a career counselor, hit me up at info@songwritergirl.com. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or a suggestion for a guest, or you would make a great guest on the show, email us at info@songwritergirl.com. Hope I'm going to see you right here next week at Kirsti Cast. Have a great day. Have a great week. Make it the best. Whatever you do, stay inspired. See you next time.
You've been listening to Kirsti Cast.